Hey, how's it going? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Today I have a new knife here to share with you, and this one is coming in from Vosteed. While I get this opened up, you know what to do. Let me know down in the comments what your carry is for today. I have the Wombat with me right now, and we know by these big boxes here from Vosteed and the hard cases that this is something special and a design I have never gotten to check out before. This is the Gavco Vosteed collaboration Leopard here, and this is a beautiful looking design. You get all the works, of course, from Vosteed, microfiber cloth and stickers and all that good stuff. Now, this knife is still available. There are some variations left. I think 2 different variations. Now, there's not a ton of these still available, but there are some, and I think these are kind of a hidden gem on Vosteed's website right now. I don't think a lot of people know that these are in stock, because I think if they did, they would most likely be gone. So we're going to be looking at a price point here of about $250. So somewhere in the neighborhood of where the RS Chaos landed, that's where this will be as well. And for that price tag, we're going to be looking at M390, and it is done 60 to 62 on the HRC. Vosteed has made sure to bump up or make sure the HRC is above 60, whether they're coated or uncoated. It's going to be 61 plus or minus 1. So they're nailing it on the heat treat when it comes to M390. And in the case of the Leopard here, and much like the Wombat, done in M390, I have no problem with a company rolling with M390 if they're going to do it properly. And here we have a proper heat treat from Vosteed. So I am, I'm good to go with the M390. Plus, Vosteed is a company who routinely does different steels across their different models. And I think this is really cool that Gavco is back again and doing another collab with Vosteed. So we have a cutout here for the deployment, which we don't see a ton of with Vosteed, is a kind of a singular deployment, just a cutout, which I have no problem with that. But Vosteed is known for really liking their deployment methods, but this is going to be a little bit more streamlined with just the cutout for the deployment. And because this is sporting the top liner lock, the button compression lock, this is going to have a true detent in there, but you're going to get a very strong lockup here. And the stop pin, look at that massive stop pin in there along with that compression style lock. This is a robust system, especially for up and down. Now you get all the fun and fidgetiness though of a button, so you really get the best of all worlds when it comes to these button compression, button liner, button frame locks, the pivot based button locks. Those are, in my opinion, some of the best locks that you can get because they're very robust, but they're also very, very fun and fidgety to use. Now, we're going to be looking at titanium for the handle, the hardware, and our pocket clip here. Now, this is going to be right-hand carry only. And if you're not familiar with Gavco and his designs are solely based around the shark population. And that is why you kind of see this milling here done on the scales. We've seen the Gavco Nurse and the Thresher. There's so many out there from Gavco, and this is just another one in his large catalog. So let's see what we are looking at here for our length of blade. We're going to be right at 3 inches of cutting edge, and we'll give it 3 3/8 of total blade, 3 3/8 strong, and we are coming down there just shy of 7 3/4. I'll say we'll give it 7 9/16, maybe 7 5/8. It would actually be more like 7 and 11/16, just shy of 7 3/4. So we'll have some comparison knives here to put the Leopard up against, and we have the Vosteed Raccoon up top here and the Kaiser Militao on the bottom. And it's going to be really in line with something like the Raccoon, maybe just a touch smaller on both ends than something like the Militao. And two more here in that next size down. We have the Benchmade Bug Out and the Kaiser Drop Bear here. And the Gavco Leopard, it's going to be a little bit longer than both of those. So let's grab our 50 Ways Baked In Hank here, and we'll see what this pocket clip looks like here. And I think this is going to be right up my alley at least. I love that we have no exposed hardware here. It looks very clean, and for the most part, I'm a big fan of this type of carry right here. I tend to like knives that I can really get easy access to. You know, I want to be able to get a hold of this, grab it, and pull it out of my pocket very easily. And they do a great job at giving you plenty of room underneath that clip and giving you a nice amount of tension, but it's not overly done. That is perfect for riding up over a little bit thicker seams, and that's going to allow for a good fit in there as well. I really like the ability to grab a hold of the knife and pull it out of the pocket nice and easy. We don't have the option here for left-hand carry on this particular model. So we'll bring out the arch nemesis here, and we'll get a weight check on this. We like to guess the weight here on the channel of all the new knives that come in, and I think it's fun. If you like to play along, put your guess down in the comments there. If you already commented your EDC, no big deal. I am always good with multiple comments from all of you. So I'm going to give this a go here. Put your guess down in there right now. I'm going to say it doesn't have, it's got a good weight to it. I feel like, yeah, there's milling on the show side there. I bet this is 4.2, I'm going to say. Oh, oh, yeah, that's a rare occasion where the scale actually goes in favor for me. 4 ounces on the nose for the Gavco here, 114 grams for everyone else. So ratio people might not be real thrilled about that. I haven't heard much from ratio people. I don't think they like it here too much because I don't really give a whole lot of thought to that whole notion. If it's within reason, you know, if you have a 4-inch blade and a 20-ounce knife, then maybe sure. But to get nitpicky and to limit yourself because of something like that for every single knife that you ever look at, I just think that's ridiculous. But those are my opinions, of course. Let's go ahead and we'll get a measurement here on our handle. And they did a good job there or Gavco did, at keeping it a little bit thicker. We have a 0.54 thickness there. We'll go ahead and get a measurement on our blade stock coming in at 156 thousandths. Let's go ahead and we'll get a behind the edge measurement here. And in that particular spot, we're looking at about 25 thousandths there. Let's see if we get anything a little different out towards the front. And, ooh. No, I think that's it's actually a little bit thicker out towards the tip there. Interesting. So it's for what we typically see, which is 21 to 23. This is actually a little bit thicker behind the edge, but let's see how this cuts out of the box. So we have our catalog paper. This is the actual back of the catalog. So we'll actually do this one and another one, but I can tell you, this bad boy is nice and sharp. But let's see how it does with something a little bit thinner here. Oh, man. Vosteed, man, they just don't disappoint. So let's take a close-up look at this edge here and this blade. See what we're looking at. I've had a lot of requests to hone in on some of the close-ups of the edge, and for that matter, we'll start doing good, nice close-ups of the entire knife. That way you can just get a little bit better idea. But if you're wondering about the edge, it's nice and sharp and everything looks nice and even. Sharpening choil is a monster in there. You could even slide a fingertip in there. It's not a finger choil, but that allows for plenty of sharpening. I don't see it thickening up too much. Maybe after a couple of sharpenings, it certainly will. But a proper heat treat on this M390 is going to do it justice. So, you know, that kind of is what it is. We have a very large standoff here on the butt end. And could we use that as a lanyard tube as well? Might be able to get like a lanyard in here. Might poke there on the tip, but not 100% sure on that. Maybe like a thinner lanyard. And I do like how we have a customized pivot there, and then we just have one body screw and T8, and everything else is going to be T8 as well. Everything's nice and tight, and you would have to take this bad boy apart to access the two screws for the pocket clip there. And that's a nice, robust, clean system. You got two Torx driven in from the inside there, and that just keeps that looking nice and clean. As far as the detent goes and centering is on point. As far as the cutout, it is really nice. If you've ever handled a Gavco, you'll know the type of design this is going to be. And if you've ever experienced a Vosteed, you'll know the type of quality that Vosteed provides. That cutout is nice. Whether you want to thumb flick it, you can be up here underneath the scale and just kind of throw it out. And for the reverse flick, don't really matter. You can go low, middle, or you can go real high if you'd like. But wherever your finger is going to land, it's just going to be perfect. As far as the button goes, that is cut out around there. And it doesn't stick out much in the closed position, and you get a little raise there above the scales, but not real bad. And I've, used plenty of compression locks like this, button compression locks, left-handed, doing various things, and never once have I had, even if I try to push down on that, I can get it to go loose, but you're deliberately doing that at that point. If you're really using this left-handed, you're going to be cognizant that there's a button there. You know that that's a button, and you just work around that button, right? I mean, even in standard grips, you're just really not going to be on top of that button. Not something I would be worried about, but something to always be cognizant of. So before we move on to the lock, I wanted to bring out another Gavco design that I have here currently. That's the Nurse. And I can't remember who the OEM, this was a Drop collaboration, Gavco and Drop, along with, it might have been it might have been Riot. I can't remember. Either way, this is a phenomenal, it's S35, so it wouldn't surprise me if it was but this, talk about just a phenomenal design. I really like what he does as far as his designs go. They're unique, they're different. I mean, you can tell a Gavco design from a mile away. Once you've seen a couple, handled one or two, you can just tell that, you know, it's a Gavco design. Very similar traits across the board, and these are no longer available that I know of anywhere, but you might be able to find them on the secondary. I had mine up for sale. It didn't sell, and so I'm keeping it for now at least. So we'll check this lock, and we do have a coated liner with a coated blade, something to keep in mind, but I don't think we're going to have any issues here. It feels very, very good, nice and solid. We'll start out towards the tip here, a couple of light ones to get us going. Yeah, that would have done it there. Feels good. It sounds good, too. We'll close it and check it here. Triple tap. And that would have done it there. We've never had, you know, I haven't tested hundreds of compression-style locks, but I've tested dozens and dozens. Tested hundreds of other knives and locks. Never had a compression lock fail of any kind. Not any style. No Spydercos, no Vosteeds. They've all been just utterly ridiculous when it comes to the lock strength. And like I said earlier, up and down. You know, there are locks more robust for a side-to-side motion, but a knife should not be, you know, unless it's life or death or, you know, a real emergency. And depending on the knife, that ain't going to help you, you know, anyway. Putting a lot of side-to-side tension, pressure on that lock, it's just not what they're designed for. But more and more have they gotten really good at making them robust for up and down. So, you know, and that's what we want. We want it to be strong that way because that's how we're going to be using the actual folding knife. You know, recommendation is to get yourself a good solid fixed blade. And not that that would, like an EDC like this wouldn't be good for, you know, trying to pry something real robust apart with, even in Vanex. You know, it's just, pry bar would certainly work better for something like that. I'm interested to hear from you all on this new Gavco and Vosteed collaboration, the old Leopard here. A couple of these still hiding in stock there on Vosteed's website. I'll have that linked down below in the description and the pinned comment, and you can head over there and check them out. There's at least 2 versions available, but I think they're both pretty low as far as the stock goes. So they won't be around for a whole lot longer, I don't believe. And this is probably kind of a one and done type of run, knowing Vosteed, unless they were to do a couple more in a different variety in the future. But we've seen a lot of times from them that they'll do a run, and that's kind of it. And I don't really, you know, it kind of stinks if you don't get to experience, you know, a certain design. And that's not to say it's forever, but it might be a couple years till you see, you know, it might be never, and it might be a couple years until we, you know, see another design that they did previously that they're just not doing right now. But let me know. Is this something you could see fitting into your weekly rotation or adding to your collection? I look forward to hearing from you. Make sure you share this video and hit the thumbs up button. That helps push the video out there to more people. It tells the algorithm that this video is actually worth watching. If you're new to the channel, let me know down in the comments so we can welcome you properly here. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe because I release videos like this every single day. And if you're still here, you love knives and gear just as much as we all do, I'd love to have you here. I'll pop up a couple of new videos on your screen. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.